More technology or more boots on the ground?
That's the debate in Grand Rapids over ShotSpotter. That's the $1 million-plus gunshot detection system that the city is considering. We've done a number of stories on the controversial equipment.
New at 6 o'clock, the CEO of ShotSpotter is speaking out for the first time, answering the questions that you've been asking. And 24-hour News 8's Joe LaFurgey has this story.
It's a high-tech tool helping police respond to and deal with one of the biggest crime problems in many American cities: gun violence.
I love talking to policing agencies that want to think differently, right? And so we're on a crusade here.
But is ShotSpotter right for Grand Rapids? Company CEO Ralph Clark says ShotSpotter has been successful in most places. There are some examples of communities with limited success, but Clark says the technology always works. Current versions of ShotSpotter send information to a center where ShotSpotter personnel, aided by computers, analyze the sounds, separating gunshots from other noises. But he says how the police agencies use that information, from the beat officer talking to neighbors to agencies using information to track hotspots that make the overall program successful.
It takes a motivated agency to use the data to provide higher levels of service.
But say it works the way it's supposed to, with the right analysis and response. What's next? How does this help cut crime?
Somebody shooting a gun is probably going to be long gone by the time that officer gets there.
Not all the time, but most of the time. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
It does increase the risk to the bad guys.
When they know there's an immediacy to a response, that creates a bit of a deterrent effect already.
Here in Grand Rapids, the debate has been a familiar one to Clark and ShotSpotter board member and Middleville resident Tom Gross. Why not take the $1.2 million Grand Rapids would spend over the next 3 years to put more officers on the streets? Clark says the success of ShotSpotters goes beyond detecting gunfire. It's as simple as an officer getting out of the cruiser instead of driving by, giving residents a sense of security, giving officers a chance to build trust with those residents.
The real deterrence from gun violence happens there, when you have a collaborative community working with law enforcement to address the gun violence problem.
Of course, the final decision will be up to city commissioners. They tabled a vote 2 weeks ago. They're expected to revisit the issue in June. We'll let you know what happens. At City Hall, Joe LaFurgey, 24-hour News 8.